Hey, it's Matt Moscona. You found it. It's AFR LSU, your home for daily content on your favorite team, Fighting Tigers of LSU. And we're proud to be presented by BetUS, where this football season, get a 150% bonus on your first deposit and a 125% bonus on your next two deposits up to $2,000. Be sure to use the promo code YouTube150. Now, enjoy the video. Brian Kelly has been pretty adamant, pretty open. Safety's a spot where these Tigers have rotated and rolled a bunch of guys in here over these last 3 weeks. And the time for rolling guys in and out is over. It's time to decide who's going to be the players. Nobody better to talk to about this team in that position in particular than a guy, Brandon Taylor, who was an all-conference safety on the 2011 LSU team, that great defense, and now part of the LSU Sports Radio Network, keeping tabs on the Tigers. BT, great to have you back, man. How are you?
What's going on, Moscone?
Hey, man, I'm good. Hey, let me start with a big picture. 5 games into the season, if I asked you, what's your overall takeaway of the safety play to this point, what would you say?
It's gotten fairly better, and I expected that because you got he's an old DB coach, but you got a new DB coach, and you got new players coming in as far as transfer portal, and you just don't know what to expect. So you couldn't put many expectations on them. It was kind of a slow start, kind of sloppy, but the way these guys have been progressing each and every week, it's been better, a lot better than last year. It's a complete different look, but you still want to kind of want to know who's the solidified guys and keep those guys on the field and simultaneously rotate them, not just all the way throughout the game.
Go back, BT, if you would, for a second. So you said you could see they're getting better. You're obviously watching through a different lens that you having played and know this stuff so well. Make it make sense for someone like me who doesn't know what I'm looking at in safety play. But when you say they've gotten better, say from week 1 to now, in what ways have you noticed they've improved?
From last year, I see that we had at least 4 or 5 busted coverages a game. When I say busted coverage, I mean man wide open, and you got 3 DBs standing around each other throwing their hands up in the air. Nobody knows what's going on. And they have a better sense and knowledge of the playbook, it looks like, because you don't have a coach coming in the media blasting them, talking about, we got to dumb the playbook down and we got to simplify the playbook. You haven't seen that this year. So just from that standpoint alone is an improvement. And just seeing how these guys they're tackling better, but it's not perfect and it's not to the LSU standard, but it's better than what we've seen. And at the point where we've been the past 2 years, I mean, you got to take what you can get right now, but these are still a lot of young players out there playing on the field.
We'll get right back to the video, but of course, by now, thrilled to tell you about our friends over at BetUS, who've been a great partner of ours here on AFR LSU this football season. They're continuing to offer you this amazing deal, a 150% deposit bonus on your first deposit and 125% bonus on your next 2 deposits, up to $2,000 if you're sports betting. Why wouldn't you take advantage of these amazing offers? Make sure you use the promo code YouTube150. All the info is right here on the screen or on that screen. I'll show you again just how easy BetUS is to use. You go to the website. Let's pull up football on the college football page. Since there's no LSU game this week, maybe at the top we could look at the NCAA championship odds. I think there's tons of value right now with Georgia coming off a loss. When are you ever going to get Georgia at plus 650 to win the national championship? That's worth a flyer. $25 to win 162. Yep, I'll take that bet. Confirm it, and we are locked in. Let's see if the Georgia Bulldogs at the end of the season might rebound. Make us a little bit of money. It's that easy to use BetUS. And make sure you're using that promo code YouTube150 for a 150% deposit bonus on your first deposit, 125% on your next 2 deposits up to $2,000. Use that promo code YouTube150. Now, enjoy the rest of the video. Was the defense last year really that? Because Brian Kelly has said that they've tried to, especially with some of the young guys, they've tried to simplify in the defense, right? They want to get them to play with good leverage and know their responsibilities and all. Was it really that complex a year ago?
No, it was not, and I don't know why. That's a fault on the coach. When you come to the media and say stuff like that, why? You don't have to say that. Like, you don't. That's where you lose your locker room, man. Because if my coach came and said that in the locker room, I'm not gonna bite my tongue as Brandon Taylor. I'm a quiet person, but if I got something to say, I'm gonna say it. And then at that point, I'm gonna say something like, "It's your job. You're not a coach. You're a teacher. Coaches are teachers, and it's your job to have your players prepared. So if they're ill prepared on the field, oh, you getting $100 million, big dog. Why are they not prepared? So that falls on your plate at that point. Now, if the players aren't living up to the standard on the field by their play, they're wearing the shoulder pads and the helmets. That's their fault. So it's two sides to every coin. So you just can't say you dumbing down the playbook because it's trying to simplify the playbook because of such and such. But maybe you should teach and coach harder and not just try to find a escape route or a escape route and stuff like that. That didn't sit well with me. Which Brian Kelly's a good coach, a great coach, but that right there didn't sit well with me.
Brandon Taylor is our guest, former LSU safety. Let me talk about some of the personnel, BT, because one of the things that Brian Kelly did say this week is that they're going to move Javen Toviano to star, so they have the option of moving Major Burns back to safety if they need him there. Do you think Major Burns is better at that star position, or is he better back playing free safety?
Major Burns need to be as close to the line of scrimmage as possible. Major Burns has all the measurements that I wish I had. He's tall. I wasn't tall. He's long. Like he can run. He can fly. He can fly. He can run. He can outrun just about everybody on the defense. But it's almost like he's kind of played like whenever there's a bad play happening, he's around. And you got to, as a safety, you kind of want to get out of that trend. So in order for him to get out of that trend, he needs to be as close to the line as possible because in space, he's kind of lacking in playing in space as far as tackling in space, fitting gaps in space, and in coverage, he's been lacking a little bit. So I would try to keep him as close to the line as possible, and that's what he thrives at.
Yeah, look, I mean, he's one of the. He's I think third leading tackler on the team, and Pro Football Focus grades him out. His highest grade is his tackling grade. His lowest is his coverage grade. So that's sort of.
And that's and you play to his strengths. Don't try and make him something that he's not. He's not a cover safety.
So then
I was a cover safety because I moved from corner to safety, and it just felt natural to me. He's not a cover safety, so don't try to make him that. He can run. Put him close to the line of scrimmage and let him run sideline to sideline.
So why?
Put like this, him and Weeks running sideline to sideline is scary.
Okay. So then why do you think – so then, like, piece this together for me then. So if it's very clear, like they moved him from safety to star, it's his best spot, why then do you think they're interested in potentially moving him back to safety?
That there I have no idea about, which he does have experience playing the safety position, and I can see that, which Corey Raymond kind of leans on having a more veteran guy back there when you got a lot of young players, just for like communication purposes and communication-wise. And I think they're trying to rotate guys into every position because we're getting into the nitty-gritty of this schedule. Like October and November are the strap-it-up months. Like, this is where you make or break in the SEC, and they want to have as many guys ready as possible. As you can see, the injuries we've had to veteran players in the beginning of the season.
Yeah. Got a couple more for you, BT. Let me ask about the young guy, the freshman Deshaun Spears. What have been your observations of him starting the last 3 games and playing as much as he has here in September?
He's been holding his own. It's hard. I'm telling you, it's hard to come in as a freshman and to contribute in LSU. I don't care how many stars you got, what you came in with. It's a hard thing to do. But when you playing for a coach like Corey Raymond, you come to LSU to play. You don't come to ride the bench. You don't do nothing. Raymond is known for putting freshmen on the field and throwing them to the wolves. That's the only way. That's in his coaching style. That's the only way you can learn is by getting that experience on the field and learning from your mistakes. I want you to make mistakes as a young player, because if you don't, you will never be known how to come out of that adversity when you put in that situation again. So I think he's going to hold his own, and I think that the ceiling is the future for that man.
I mean, if I asked you, who do you think, like, if you got to set the lineup, what do you think is the best secondary for LSU from what you've seen through 5 games? What you know about these guys? Is it does Sage Ryan, Jordan Gilbert fit in? Is it Deshaun Spears? Like, how would you piece it together?
I would start Jordan Gilbert. I would start Jordan Allen and Stamps and P.J. Woodland. And I would rotate Major Burns and Sage Ryan as a star. Major Burns for run purposes and Sage Ryan for passing purposes.
Okay. You left out Zy Alexander at corner, who's kind of, I thought, has kind of been LSU's best guy. Why would you go Stamps Woodland without Zy if he's healthy?
You rotate them 3 at the corner position.
Okay.
But those are the only people I would have playing corner. Truth be told.
Okay.
Sage Ryan, they tried it. He's not that. Like, at some point as a coach, you got to understand when you're kind of forcing it.
He played Sage played 51 snaps at corner in the opener against USC. He's taken 1 snap at corner since. I think they got the message. Like, that ain't going to be a spot. Why Jordan Allen? What do you like about Jordan Allen back there?
I mean, he's just I like the fact that these young guys are flying around, and when they're on the field, they're not blowing big coverages and they're not making big mistakes. And that right there is my foundation. Okay, I see that you know the playbook. You're communicating. Everything else is show me why you were a 5-star or 4-star. Show me why I recruited you to LSU. That's all when your athletic ability comes in and your small things comes in. As long as you got that foundation that I know you know what you're doing and you're not nervous and you can lock in and not blow big plays, if you can go out there and not give up a blown coverage or a big play, I can work with you then. That's why I'm looking toward the rest of the season and the future. It's time for guys to separate themselves, and you can see like kind of little small little things about players. Like me and Hunt still joke to this day about Jamar Chase as a freshman. He would always catch that out route within the 20-yard line, and he would never score a touchdown. And I told Hunt, I said, hey, next year when he pop, he going to go crazy, and he going to be the best wide receiver in the country, and he was. And it's just little things that you catch as a player, like with certain players, and it's like, okay, he got that it factor. He just hasn't matured as a young man yet.
Well, they need somebody to step up in that safety room here with Ole Miss coming in. Last thing for you, Brandon Taylor's our guest. If I asked you, man, from what you've seen, game 1 to game 5, now going into the open date, I mean, how do you think this defense can hold up against that Ole Miss offense?
It's all going to come, and it's all going to depend on the front 7. You have to hit Dart. You have to. If you go back and watch Kentucky's film, which, oh, my God, that defense, them boys play ball on that defense. Kentucky defense, I would burn that film up. I would watch it from sunup to sundown. If you hit him, it's a known fact with Dart, and it's a known fact with I'm drawing a blank. Ole Miss head coach
Lane Kiffin.
Lane Kiffin. If you put pressure on them, if you jump on them early, they will break. They can't come from behind and win a game. He can't. He can't coach his way out of a hole. But if you let him get up early by blowing plays and everything like that, which they got we got 2 weeks to prepare for him. They're going to have trick plays. He's going to throw the house at us because he got embarrassed last week, and now he has to show the country that they're still a playoff team. So we have to be on our P's and Q's, and all these DBs and this front seven, they're going to have to get after this quarterback, and you just can't be back playing zone coverage. You got to blitz, and you got to hit him.
Man, you're right. 2 weeks to get ready for it while Ole Miss has to go to Columbia, South Carolina. BT, we saw that South Carolina defense, man, against LSU. They'll hit you too. So Ole Miss has a pretty physical game coming up this weekend before they come to Baton Rouge.
Oh, most definitely, because that front seven for South Carolina, they got some freaks over there. But it's just, I just think we got a better edge on that because we're a more disciplined team as far as not getting stupid penalties as far as our front seven like South Carolina did, because they literally gave us the game with penalties as far as 15-yard penalties.
True, man.
With the interception that they ran for a touchdown, like just making bonehead plays. But I think if we get after that quarterback from Ole Miss, it's going to be lights out for him because we're going to score.
It's going to be a raucous atmosphere, man. Looking forward to being in Tiger Stadium. Brandon Taylor, former number 18. You hear him with Hunt and Big Fave on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Thanks as always, man. We appreciate the time.
All right, Matt.
Thanks so much for watching the video. Do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, hit the bell so you're notified when we post a new video, and remember to support BetUS, where right now you can get a 150% bonus on your first deposit and a 125% bonus on your next 2 deposits up to $2,000. Be sure to use that promo code YouTube150.